You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
And we want to begin with a live look at Mount Laguna here. Look at all that snow. The National Weather Service says as of yesterday, Mount Laguna's 5-day snow total was 29 inches. And guess what? More snow and rain on the way now. You can see on the left that what looks like to be about a foot or even more of snow, and it broke off and slid down the side of the lodge there.
Yeah, that's the roof of the Laguna Mountain Lodge. Let's hope nobody was underneath it when all of that came
You want to be on the
down.
receiving end of that.
Yeah.
Glad you're with us here on this Monday, everyone, at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nettie Rampor. We're going to start off with Evan with the check of the forecast. More coming?
More coming.
Wow.
But dry right now, which I think a lot of people are celebrating. The day today is going to be dry before more rain and mountain snow arrives tonight into early tomorrow. Light accumulations, though. This is what we're celebrating right now. Take a look. This is the live look from Mount Soledad right now with clear, sunny, blue skies to kick off the morning. Don't be confused, though, because although we are 18 minutes away from that sunrise and it looks beautiful, temperatures are chilly. 35 degrees right now in Ramona, 41 in Oceanside, 39 in La Mesa, and 41 down south in Chula Vista. We've got that chance of rain increasing tonight into early tomorrow. Light accumulations expected. More Tuesday night and Wednesday. We'll let you know what to expect in just a bit.
New this morning here, a driver is under arrest after leading officers on a chase. It happened just before midnight in the La Mesa area. You can see him taken into custody here. Officers say the chase started shortly after the driver, who was armed with a rifle, threatened another man. At one point during the chase, the driver hit two cars. The driver eventually exited the northbound 125 near Fletcher Parkway and then surrendered. Officers found a handgun and a rifle inside the suspect's truck, and again, they arrested him.
Well, today is the last day of the COVID-19 emergency that it will stay in effect.
Yeah, in fact, tomorrow it will be lifted for the city, county, and state after nearly 3 years. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol joining us live downtown to explain what exactly is going to be changing moving forward here. Dana Marie.
Well, Eric and Netta, it's come somewhat full circle. Back in February of 2020, that's when that emergency was enacted. We're talking to local leaders, healthcare professionals about the past 3 years, looking back on that time, but also what to do moving forward. Now, of course, we're not out of the clear just yet. There's still COVID cases popping up in San Diego. So let's take a look at some of those numbers. 1,774 COVID-19 cases were reported to the county in the past 7 days. Unfortunately, people are still dying from the infection. Last week, 9 people passed away. They did all have underlying medical conditions. Now, the state of emergency allowed local leaders to make decisions around the pandemic more quickly and get that federal funding to do so. From skyrocketing hospitalizations, deaths, lockdowns, quarantinings, masks, vaccines, all things that we really experienced on a day-to-day basis, those healthcare workers did as well. We spoke to Dr. Davey Smith, the chief infectious disease officer at UC San Diego. He looked back at some of the defining moments of the pandemic. He talked to us about the stress on our healthcare workers dealing with the pressure. He also worries that we won't necessarily be prepared for future pandemics.
I think that politics has inserted itself so much into COVID that we are not developing the preparedness that we need over time. And I worry that governments are never going to be able to do it because of the politics.
Now, the vaccine mandate will be ending for city employees as well. Doctors say it's important to continue to keep up on those vaccines as other variants emerge. But again, after 3 years, that emergency is now ending tomorrow. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live from Harbor Island.
All right, Dana Marie, thank you. Well, it looks like Manny Machado will be wearing San Diego Padres uniform through the 2033 season. Yesterday, we learned Machado and the Padres agreed to an 11-year extension. This deal worth $350 million. CBS 8's Chris Groh live outside Petco Park with a mix of reactions here. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, Eric. And look, it's a great day to be brown and golden on that team because look at Manny Machado. He's probably going to be buying a couple steak dinners for some of the guys there up in Peoria or down there in Peoria. Again, celebrating this 11-year, $350 million extension. Now, this extension coming after we heard that Machado was likely going to be opting out of his initial deal that he signed with the Padres back in 2019. Remember, that was a 10-year, $300 million deal. He had already seen about $108 million of that deal. He was scheduled to make about $32 million this season, but with that extension coming in, he's now going to be in San Diego likely until 2034. Now Machado, at just the age of 30, remember he's turning 31 in July, hit .298. He had 32 home runs, batted in 102 runs, had a 6.8 WAR, which is wins above replacement. He finished second in NL MVP voting, and he made his sixth All-Star team. So this is someone who acts as both a team captain, both in the clubhouse and on the diamond. It's someone who's likely going to be in San Diego now till the end of his career.
You know what? It could be a 50-year contract. I hope. It doesn't matter how long it is. I don't care how much money it is.
Re-signing Manny, I mean, one thing that my friends and I, we talked about was that it just means one word, the statue's coming. So, I mean, I'm happy, I'm excited. I think that he's going to lead us to a couple World Series, and with the lineup that we have now, it's huge. Padres, Friar Faithful, baby. We've been waiting a long time for this.
Who's your favorite Padre?
Who's your favorite?
Manny Machado.
Manny Machado.
And for that little girl, figure, hey, 11 years moving forward, she's probably going to be in high school or even graduating by the time that Manny Machado's deal is up. And yeah, Manny Machado, again, plus 10 years, plus 11 years, likely going to be in those early 40s by the time that this deal is done. But it secures Machado in San Diego for the remaining years of his prime. Again, still just at the age of 30. You've got Fernando Tatis Jr. signed to a long-term deal, Xander Bogaerts signed to a long-term deal, Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish. So this is the core that the San Diego Padres are building around at the moment. They made that run last year. They didn't want to see that go by the wayside. They want to challenge the LA Dodgers, not just for that playoff spot, but they want to challenge them for the division and eventually that NL pennant. So again, still got to play baseball out on the diamond, but for now you got to imagine that over in Arizona, Machado as well as some of the other Padres players are celebrating this news. Eric?
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Appreciate it. It's interesting. Yeah, you're right. That little girl going to be a lot older when Manny Machado is going to be here from 2033. That puts a lot in perspective, that's for sure. He's going to be here for a long time. You had some interviews there with some reaction, a lot of positive reaction there. On social media, a bit different here. So there's a mixed reaction from fans. Here's some of the comments from our Facebook page. Esperanza says, hey, loving my season tickets overlooking third base even more now. Going to see a good angle of Machado there. Vanessa writing, look, he's the face of the organization, our team leader. It's a win-win. Joe says, wow, what a waste of money. The Padres could get multiple players for that same amount. Not a good investment. And then Debbie says, the players' salaries are why we can't afford to go to the games. You too can weigh in on our Facebook page.
Interesting to hear that range of perspectives. Thank you, Eric. Turning now to this, the powerful storm system that pummeled the West Coast, blanketing Southern California with snow, now making its way across the country. Take a look. At least 12 people were injured when a twister struck in Norman, Oklahoma. This was overnight. Look at that video. It also caused intense hail over in Texas. It's in the middle of your screen. And then a neighborhood in LA County has been evacuated after a mudslide damaged multiple homes. Other communities in Southern California saw that historic snowfall.
How was that?
That was good. That was amazing.
Having a good time. Many San Diegans went out to see the snow in East County over the weekend, but not everybody drove up to the mountains. In fact, many stopped to see the snow in Pine Valley. Pretty low snow levels there. Meantime, this morning, the roads to Palomar Mountain, they are now back open. Sunrise Highway open as well, so you can hopefully get there, enjoy it in between the breaks between storms. And several East County school districts, though, they're taking precautions because of that snow and the icy roads. All schools in the Warner Unified School District are closed today, and the following districts have late starts: Julian Union Elementary, Julian Union High School, Mountain Empire Unified, and Spencer Valley. We also want to show you some photos from viewers. Rod Legace of the snow in Mount Laguna. Look at that, Rod. Thank you for sending that. Oh, it has icicles on the roof there. You can share them all through the Near Me feature right there on the CBS 8 app. It looks so postcard perfect, right?
Pine House is what it says
Amazing.
there. That looks, wow, that looks really nice.
In San Diego, we have that.
I love it. It's so wild. And all the way up through San Bernardino County, Ventura County, they all saw snow in places that are not so typical for snow. So there is the possibility of more on the way. Here's what we see right now from Mount Laguna. You can see just how much snow has piled up. This is the roof of Mount Laguna Lodge. And then down on the ground here, you've got those piles of snow that are continuing to pile up, with the possibility of more than a foot of additional snow coming their way. Mount Laguna, Palomar Mountain are in the zone for that possibility. Julian's going to stay much lighter because that snow level is going to be at about 3,500 to 4,000 feet. So kind of leaving Julian out of the mix for this next storm. But the emphasis is that today during the day and even tomorrow during the day, we are mainly dry. The rain and mountain snow is going to come overnight from late tonight into early tomorrow, and it's going to be light for this round. And then the heavier round is going to come from late Tuesday night into early Wednesday. 5-day rain totals have been generous to us. Take a look. Valley Center came in with over 3.5 inches of rain. Carlsbad over 3 inches. Alpine nearly 3 inches. So sure, these are a couple outliers, but almost every spot on the map came in with over 1.5 inches, and then you saw many, especially inland, coming in around 2.5 inches or so. Here's the rain hitting Santa Barbara right now through about LA. It's going to continue moving south, and that's where we're going to get those light showers tonight into early tomorrow. Only expecting about 1/10 of an inch for this wave from tonight into tomorrow. You can see how there are a couple spots that might get close to 2/10. Escondido and Ramona. North County is going to get hit a little bit harder, but not by much. And then as we fast forward this run through the rest of your day on Tuesday, it's not until late Tuesday night, about 11 p.m., that we start to see those numbers really climb, and then through Wednesday when we'll see the highest accumulations. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. So far, things are light on the roads. We'll take you to one thing that is popping up here because there are no actual crashes or collisions. Looks like the exit ramp from the 163 northbound at Richmond Street northbound is closed due to emergency repairs. Eric, back to you.